Fight season, Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury, the reaction. But before we get to the reaction, we're gonna take a look at the man's journey, how his white boss has put him through a lot of shit. And we're gonna take a look at everything that happens from Jon Jones, from Dana White, and how like everybody around him tried to discredit him about what the vision was, because the man had a vision and the perfect passion to do what he wanted to do. He followed his dreams. He boxed Tyson Fury, and we're gonna react to that soon. We're gonna react to that video. On this next video. This video, we're gonna focus on what the man had to go through. Jon Jones bashing the man. Obviously, Jon Jones bashing the man. Dana White saying some slick shit in order to discredit him, talking about he released him from the UFC. Obviously, the man had a vision. Francis had a vision, and his vision was bigger than the UFC. And the man executed his vision perfectly. What am I talking about? Obviously, we're going to get into that. Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. Right now, we're going to look at the man's journey. And not necessarily a journey. We're going to look at what his white boss put him through in order for him to get to where he is right now. The man has opportunities for days. What am I talking about? The man has a lot of opportunities after boxing fight, after boxing one of the greatest boxers, the greatest boxers in boxing. And now let's listen to this man.
No, I didn't think this is how it was going to end. I thought we'd eventually come to a deal with him, but we didn't. I don't have any regrets. Hunter might, but I don't. Jones' fight would really happen. That's what I think. I think he didn't think that would really come to fruition, but it did. Jon Jones was literally ready to fight anybody. He didn't care who it was, and we could have done a fight with Jon back in October, November, December, and we kept. We kept trying to get this deal done with Francis, and then finally it just, we got to we can't continue to hold up the division and not come to an agreement with this guy. We did everything we could to try to make this fight happen and try to give him the fight, but, he's got it in his head that there's bigger opportunities outside the UFC. He's not getting younger, so he was just weighing over 300 pounds, just had knee surgery. Hasn't really had a real training camp, and I think that probably has a lot to do with it. A risk. Feels like he's in a good position where he could fight lesser opponents and make more money. So we're gonna let him do that. We're gonna release an agreement with Francis for like 2 years now, and we had gotten to a point where he was going to fight Jon Jones. And many who believe, including me, that he's the best of all time, for the heavyweight championship. And Jon Jones is Francis. We offered Francis a deal that would have made him the highest paid.
Come on, bro. Come on. How do you leave the UFC to go fight for lesser competition, bro? Obviously, even though the man, it was about the money, the man was not getting paid enough. What am I talking about? Bro, the man was not getting paid enough. The man had a talent. He had a vision. The man, like Francis Ngannou, went through a lot of shit to receive this shit. Obviously, all they want to do, all these companies want to do, they want to exploit these young, talented fighters. Obviously, when they get old, Francis is getting older, but guess what? He's getting better, he's getting better, period. That's all it is. Francis Ngannou may be getting older, but he's getting better. What am I talking about? As we saw the fight against Tyson Fury, he's getting better. We saw the fight against Cyril Gane. He's getting better. Imagine his next fight. Doesn't matter which sports he competes in. Turns out the man is getting better. Boxing or MMA, the man is always getting better. And guess what? The Jon Jones fight, we all wanted to see that fight. Come on, man. And this man has put Francis Ngannou through a lot. Fighting. Go watch the Joe Rogan podcast and Francis exposing how his contract was structured and stuff, and how he was not happy about his position in the UFC, fighting once a year, going through some tough times financially, because of his white boss. This man right here, Dana fucking White. This man has put my brother Francis Ngannou through a lot, bro. He has put him through a lot. And obviously, towards the end of his career in the UFC, he wanted to keep Francis Ngannou active, right? You know, the man really wanted to, you know, be active in the UFC, give something back to them, because they gave him the opportunity to do what? To feed his family, to do what? They gave him the platform for us to watch Francis Ngannou in the UFC. And guess what? He was willing to pay them back with that. And we know the story of the contract, how that whole thing panned out. Francis Ngannou asked for a 3-fight deal. And Francis Ngannou asked for a 3-fight deal. They were going to give him the 3-fight deal. And then what? He asked for no extensions, and then they gave him the no extensions. He asked for sponsorship. The motherfucker said, that is not possible. Motherfucker, that is not possible. You African. You are not entitled. You are not demanding anything from us. We gave you the opportunity. Yeah, you gave him the opportunity. But who has got the talent to make the promotion is great? The fighters. What am I talking about? The fighters. The fighters make the promotion. The Conor McGregor's made the promotion. The Francis Ngannou made the promotion. The Jon Jones made the promotions. The Jon Jones made the promotion. What are you talking about? This man has been through a lot. He demanded sponsorship. They told him it's not possible, and he's like, okay, let's talk about me boxing Tyson Fury, and they didn't want that, and then I got this scenario too. I'm just gonna put it in this video quick. Imagine Francis performed the way he did, and then the UFC was promoting that fight. Imagine how big the fight was going to be if they did Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury 2 under the UFC burner. The fight was going to be bigger than Conor McGregor, because Francis Ngannou boxed better than Conor McGregor against Mayweather. And telling you right now, the UFC fumbled the bag. I don't give a fuck what nobody says, bro. That's the UFC's fault. And when they be salty and discrediting my man Francis, and obviously the last time Dana talked about Francis, all he said, good for him. We congratulate Francis on what he's done, and good for him getting Tyson Fury fights. And now we're gonna look at Jon Jones and Dana. Hear what they had to say.
If I'm Jon Jones and I'm home watching this fight, I start moving to 85. I can sit here all day and tell you, what show me the money mean? I tell you guys this all the time. If you can say you want to fight somebody, but do you really want to?
Yeah. Francis is a big old pussy. Love that quote. I love it. All that muscle with a big ass pussy.
Talk about Francis Ngannou. Is there anything that can happen under the sun?
I'm not interested in I tried to make that fight for 2 years. He didn't want the fight. You know what I mean? He didn't want the fight. And, he left here without even having another deal in place. And I know how the boxing world is. It's crazy. But, Francis didn't want to do it. I tried to make that fight for 2 years. And let me tell you what. I think way the fight would have gone if he was in there too. You know, him and Cyril had a 5-round war, and if Cyril doesn't go for that submission, Cyril probably wins that fight at the end of the 5th round there. So, listen.
Likely Francis would be dominated just as Cyril was, and
I wouldn't be shocked either absolutely, and I wouldn't be shocked either if he fights Stipe.
What did I say? Dana, you know, this man, 23 years, he talks about being in the business, but he still doesn't know shit about fighting. How on earth do you think Francis is gonna get dominated by Jon Jones the way he fought Cyril Gane? First of all, my man Francis has the experience for him to carry the fight against Jon Jones. What are you saying, bro? Bro, Francis is capable of knocking out Jon Jones. But we're not going to see that fight happen because of what? Because of Dana. It's not because Francis didn't want the fight. It's not because Jon Jones didn't want that fight. As we saw, in this previous videos, what Dana had a lot of shit to say. 145. To clarify something, Dana didn't say Jon Jones is scared of Francis Ngannou, but obviously you're gonna have to go way back and then interpret that shit on your own words and how you heard it. I don't think Jon Jones is scared of Francis Ngannou. Obviously he's scared of getting knocked out, but he's not scared of Francis Ngannou. And another thing is Francis Ngannou is not scared of Jon Jones. Francis Ngannou was not gonna get dominated by Jon Jones. Francis Ngannou was never ever going to get that finish. Francis Ngannou was not gonna get finished by Jon Jones that easily. Jon Jones got all the experience. Guess what? Francis was going better in MMA, and guess what? Now he's going better in boxing and both in MMA, and he needs to fight fucking tougher competition in both fucking sports because he's looking to fucking box and do MMA. My man is chasing money. My man Francis is fucking looking to make the biggest bag until he retires. Cause my man has been through a lot. The man has fucking risked his fucking whole life to get to where he is. And guess what? It is paying off. What am I talking about? It is paying off. Why is it paying off? He's getting offers from boxing. He's getting off. He has an offer. I mean, he has a big deal with the PFL. What does that say about him? It says the man is doing something right, as he always say. And guess what? Yeah. Guess what? Francis is the next big thing. Come on. He may be a superstar, but he's not the superstar that he is. He's not the superstar that he's supposed to be. That's what I meant. Fuck you. Yeah. Guess what? My man Francis is doing it. And we are doing it right now. We supporting him. Yeah. We're doing this. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Stay